Welcome back to FM Story. We are in the second half of our first season of this South American Glory Hunter, our first season with Internacional, obviously. And things are going well. We're currently sat third in the table. We are 11 points off the top. We have 5 games in hand on the team that's top. We are 9 points off second, and we've got 6 games in hand on them. We're in the second round of the Copa Sudamericana. We won the first leg 6-2 away from home. So hopefully we should be in the quarterfinals of that, and we'll see that in this episode as well. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We are approaching the end of August, and we've not had the best of runs since the end of the last episode. We ended the last episode with the first leg of the second round of the Copa Sudamericana against Olympia, away at Olympia. So we finished that episode with a 6-2 victory in that game. We then lost our next league game 2-1 away at Atletico Mineiro. We won the second leg of the second round 2-1. We then drew 1-1 with Fortaleza. And then in the first round of the quarterfinal, we got beat by fellow Brazilian side Atletico Paranaense away from home. We have beaten them twice in the league this season. So hopefully going into this second leg, we can produce a performance to see us through to the semi-final. Since then, our form's picked up. We won 3-1 at home against Sao Paulo. We needed 3 late goals. We were 1-0 down in the 84th minute and got 3 goals after that. Fluminense, again, we won 3-1. Again, we were 1-0 down after the hour. We equalised and then got a goal in the 89th and the 91st minute to secure the 3 points. And then we beat Atletico Goianese 5-3 away from home. This time we got goals early on. We were 4-0 up at half-time. 4-1 up at half-time, and 5-1 up very quickly after half-time with a hat-trick from Enna Valencia. So, as far as the league's concerned, we're still in third because we've still got games in hand. We've got 4 games in hand on Palmeiras, which would, if we won all 4 of those, it would put us 2 points clear at the top of the table. But obviously, we're going to have a big run of games all together soon, so it's going to be about managing the players. We are 3 points behind Flamengo in second, and we've got 5 games in hand on them. So that should be pretty comfortable in terms of overturning that gap. But we're going to need to really lock in to overtake Palmeiras at the top of the table. But as we said, up next, we've got the second leg of the quarterfinal of the Copa Sudamericana against Atletico Paranaense. Luckily, we don't have any suspensions. We don't have any injury issues. So we've got a full squad available to pick from. And hopefully, as I said, we can turn the game around in this second leg and see ourselves through to a semi-final. Okay, so we had a bit of an error recording the second leg of the Copa Sudamericana. We went into the game with pretty much a full strength side available. Early on, we were pressing them high up the pitch. Like this one where Mauricio wins it back. Alan Patrick finds Aranguiz. He drives forward to the edge of the area and he shot straight into the keeper's hands. Then, shortly after that, they had a free kick deep in our half, across to the back post. Basically a free header because the defender didn't challenge for it, but luckily it went over the top. And then more of us attacking. So Renan goes all the way back to Rocher. And then Vitao back to it eventually, I think, works its way back out to the left. Oh, it's over the top. And it does come back to the left to Wanderson. He finds Aranguiz on the edge of the box. And then he just can't bend it enough and it goes wide of the post. And then Renan's ball's cut out. They then come forward down this left-hand side. We've got a lot of men back, so it shouldn't really be a threat. But a touch in the box, squares it, keeper gets his hand to it. It pops up on the volley for Canobbio, makes it 1-0 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate, and gives us a mountain to climb. And then we whip the ball out to the left-hand side. And Renan brings it forward. Aaron Geese gets himself into the box, squares it. It comes off a defender, off the post, and they clear it. And that was the first sign that everything was going a bit wrong. Corner to the back post, headed up in the air, and the header lands on the roof of the net. We're creating chances, just not really doing anything with them. Another corner into the near post with Vitau's header straight into the keeper's hands. And from the clearance, Renan goes wide to Wanderson, who cuts in field. Back to Fernando, who plays the ball over the top. Aaron Geese squares it. Enner Valencia finishes. But Aaron Geese was offside. Didn't really need to be. And that was the first of a couple of incidents like that. And the goal disallowed and still 1-0 on the night. Second half, nothing really happened at the beginning of the second half. Wanderson then infield. And it comes back to Wendell on the left. He then just basically gives the ball away. We struggled to keep the ball at times. But then he wins it back. We go all the way back to the keeper, and then we start attacking down this right-hand side with Bustos. He finds Mauricio, who finds Alan Patrick racing forward. He fires across goal. It comes all the way to Wanderson. Wendell's cross is then cleared. Bustos into Aaron Geese, finds Valencia, who finishes again. And this time it's Valencia that's offside. And another goal gets disallowed. Another corner, Anderson to the far post. Maya's header comes crashing back off the post. They then break up the field because we've thrown everyone forward looking for a goal. Town and Lara gets back to make a challenge. And we give away a free kick on the edge of the area. Once I saw the highlight for this, I did think this was going to be 2-0. Once I saw the highlight for the free kick, but it was headed clear. We bring it clear, but nothing comes of this counter-attack. Once it gets into Wanderson, that's about all that we see of the game. And now late on, out to Town and Lara at left back to Renan, into Aaron Geese. He plays a ball across the field that's cut out. Bustos, though, gets back and cuts out a pass. Aaron Geese then out to Wanderson, back to the centre half. For most of the second half, we just didn't have a forward pass on. And Thiago Maia looks for Leonardo. It breaks clear. We win it back again. Leonardo then puts Wanderson through. He gets the ball and squares it. No one got a touch on it. The next one comes across. The keeper parries it. Aaron Geese's shot's blocked. And that sort of 30 seconds of two balls flashing across the goal and not being able to turn either of them in basically summed up the game. 20 shots, a 1.86 XG, and we didn't score a goal. And now we're out of the Copa Sudamericana. We've obviously already gone out of the Copa Brazil as well. So now we need to turn all our attention to make sure that we win this league title this season. We are now at the end of September, and we've got a huge league game coming up against Palmeiras. Basically, since we went out of the Copa Sudamericana against Atletico Paranense, our form has or certainly our performances have dropped off a cliff. Luckily for us, Palmeiras have been going through their own bad spell through a busy period. And ultimately, we go into this game level on points, having played the same number of games, but with a worse goal difference. So a big game coming up here against Palmeiras. Obviously, we exited the Copa Sudamericana, and then September's been a busy month. We started with a 1-1 draw against Bahia, which we needed a late and a Valencia penalty to rescue a point there. We pretty comfortably beat Atletico Goianense 4-1. We beat Botafogo 4-2, but that was a lot harder than it needed to be. We were 2-0 down after 11 minutes, but ended up getting the 3 points. We drew 1-1 with Atletico Mineiro, got off to a great start and then threw it away. And we played against 10 men for over half the game. We then were terrible against Sao Paulo, conceded 2 quick goals right on half time, and then just couldn't really do an awful lot in the second half. We drew 1-1 with Grêmio, which again required a late equaliser from Enner Valencia. And then the most recent league game against Cuiabá, who were in the relegation zone at the time we played them, but had just won the Copa do Brasil. They scored almost immediately. We were down to 10 men when Wendell got his second yellow card. And basically, it looked like nothing was happening. The time was running out. In injury time, a short pass from the fullback to the centre half. Marcus Leonardo nicked it off them, ran half the length of the pitch, dispatched it past the keeper to level it up. And then a corner came in. The referee gave a penalty. And finally, we scored a penalty. We seem to have missed so many of them this season. Aaron Geese with a winner in the 96th minute to put us level on points with Palmeiras going into this next league game. Obviously, we've got the same record: 18 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. They've got a better goal difference, and they have the leading goal scorer in the league and one of the top assisters in the league as well. So we're going to have to keep them both quiet to have a chance of coming away with a victory. But a victory here would be big as far as us hopefully being able to secure a league title in season 1 is concerned. So this is the side we're going with for the home game against Palmeiras. Big game, as we've said. We are struggling a bit fitness-wise at the back. Vital is struggling for fitness. Robert Renan has been struggling for fitness and has been walking a suspension tightrope. So we're going with Vital and Igor Gomez in the centre of defence. Unfortunately, Wendell got sent off in the last game, so Tau and Laros had to come in at left back. And we've gone with Marcus Leonardo up front because he's been more threatening recently than Valencia. Right, an early corner for them. Outswinger. We've got head on it. Still alive. Great save by Rocher. Haven't got it away yet still though. Cross to the back post. And luckily it's been overhit. Right, Rocher short. Wide to Tau and Lara. Igor Gomez into Alan Patrick, who just gifts them the chance. We've tidied it up at the back. The one issue we've got, because we're more than likely going to have a second season at International, we have a bit of an aging squad that we're going to need to fix between seasons. Mauricio into the box for Leonardo, off the post, but he was offside. Particularly the midfield. The midfield is full of players in their mid to late 30s that we need to get younger and more mobile in. And they're now attacking down the left. Cross into the back post. And got a head on it. It's come back in again. And thankfully they've headed over the top. Right, Alan Patrick with a free kick into the box. It's headed up in the air. Mauricio goes for the ambitious overhead kick from outside the box. And it just loops up into Everton's hands. Yeah, the game's quieting down a bit now. And they were at half-time 0-0. Pretty even first half. They've had the better highlights in terms of what we've seen. But looking at the match stats, we've had a bit more possession. We've had more shots on target, but yeah, a pretty even game. And we just need to pull something out in the second half now. Right, so we made some changes to get some fresh legs on, and that includes getting Enna Valencia on up top. See if we can pose a threat. Right, throw for them deep in their half. Thiago Maia cuts the ball out. Leonardo cutting in off that left now. Drills it into the bottom corner, past Weatherton. Puts us 1-0 up. And that's a potentially big, big goal. We just chipped it into nowhere in the midfield, and Thiago Maia takes the cutter, just finds Leonardo, who cuts in and just drills it past Weatherton from the edge of the box. Right, from the kick-off, we've made a change. We've taken Wanderson off because he's knackered. They're now attacking down their right. We've headed across clear. Now Tau and Lara brings it clear. Still going. It's been cut off there. Oh, and Tau and Lara's won it back again. Henrique to Alan Patrick. Anna Valencia on drifting up to the right now. They've made a challenge, but Valencia's going to get it. Infield, Wesley in the box. Squares it, keeper parries it. Thiago Maia following up. It's 2 goals in 2 minutes. And that's us in a strong position for this game, which puts us in a pretty strong position as far as the league's concerned. Wesley with a lovely little turn there. Keeper parries it out. And Thiago Maia fires it home. Right, Roche out to Romulo, who's on at right back. Down the line, Wesley takes it well. Still going. Into Henrique in the box. Squares it. Leonardo straight at Weatherton. Should have scored from there, really. Right, Alan Patrick with a corner. Into the back post. And it looks like Thiago Maia's been pushed over. It looks like we won a penalty. It's been given. It's Enna Valencia stepping up to take the penalty and smashes it into the top corner. A 3-0. And after a pretty dismal run of performances, since we went out of the Copa Sudamericana, we finally pulled a performance out of the bag. We had 19 shots, 14 on target. We're winning 3-0. Corner for them, though, with 5 minutes left. It's headed clear, gets a deflection, and luckily that's thrashed high and wide. Right, it's in the box. Wesley to Alan Patrick. Tau and Lara. Robert Renan wide to Romulo in acres of space. Cuts in. Drills it a goal, and it's gone behind for another corner. Alan Patrick to take it in towards the near post. Thiago Maia gets up, gets his head on it, and that's 4-0. And we're making a real statement about our intentions for the title this season. Thiago Maia gets up, powers the header past Weatherton, no one on the post to keep it out. Right, we've gone long from a goal kick. We've won the header. Thiago Maia's nicked it. Romulo, Wesley into Henrique, back to Wesley. Thiago Maia to Alan Patrick. Leonardo making a run behind. Finishes it in off both posts. And I think he's probably onside, but we'll get a VAR check. He wasn't. It's been disallowed. Thiago Maia into Alan Patrick. That's pretty close. But I think I'd probably have a different opinion on that if it wasn't 4-0. But full time, 4-0. A pretty dominant performance in the end. Much, much better in the second half. And that puts us 3 points clear at the top of the table. And there we are, the end of another episode. We're rapidly approaching the end of the first season of this South American Glory Hunt, and things are going well as far as the league's concerned. Unfortunately, we've not managed to win the Copa do Brazil. We've gone out of the Copa Sudamericana, so there's only the league left to focus on. But with that victory over Palmeiras, we've just hit the top of the table with 3 points clear, with 9 games left to play. So join us next time, see if we can wrap up the league title in Season 1, get the trophy cabinet started. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.